Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this morning. Got a big show lined up here on Panhandle Outdoors. But first, let's take a look at our weather. Brought to us by Drew Pollard's company, Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, up there in Southport. High today, all the way up to 86. It's sort of been warm a little bit, but it's been pretty nice weather. I know y'all have enjoyed it as much as I have. Low's going to be right at 70. It's about to break it back down into the 60s pretty soon, but it's really nice weather we're having, but it's the rivers are still high. Let's take a look at our rivers. Looking at the Mountain Dew on the outdoors with Mountain Dew. Take a look at Apalachicola, Blountstown. It's 17.3. That is high, folks. That is very high. And the Choctaw Caryville, it's about a 10.4. So that both of those rivers are really high. It looks like they're going to start going down a little bit. Apalachicola, though, I'm not sure about it. It's getting a lot of rain on up in that area, but that low pressure area really brought a lot of rain in last week, and it shows in the result shows. Water temperature is right at even 82 degrees at the end of the pier. Let's take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn, right here on 23rd Street. Great tides this week. High tide is this morning at 1:36 a.m. So it's going to be going out strong until right after lunch about 1:36, and going to start coming back in. So you got a perfect situation if you like to fish that falling tide. You got 3 days left in flounder season. 3 days. I've got a picture I'm going to show you later where a couple of nice flounder have been caught. All right, let's take a look. The marine forecast is going to be northeast at about 6, so not much factor at all on the wind. It's going to be a pretty day if you can get outdoors. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I sort of chuckling here before they came back on air. On the combination doing the shows, I've always believed variety, mixing things up and all has always been good. I've done that my whole life, doing different kind of activities and all, you know, even in sports and all, not run the same playoff tackle or whatever. So in Panhandle Outdoors, there's a combination of the videos like yesterday and then having guests on, and then some days me just sitting here running my mouth. And today's going to be one of those days where I just sit here running my mouth. But I enjoy all of them. But I think we should try to keep it mixed up. I get good comments from all of them, so I guess most of y'all enjoy it too. So, and technology is, we've been blessed with technology. We really have, and being able to do this off the iPad and all the stuff you send in, being able to share it. So here we go. And I try to mix up some humor. I don't know if a lot of y'all record it and watch the show later, so you may feel more humorous when you read these things. Maybe 5:30 in the morning, y'all maybe haven't quite woken up. It may not be as funny until it hits you later on in the day. But this one, when it hit me, it's funny. I just want to share with you. This one hit me as funny, especially for folks in my generation. Check this out. The kids keep laughing about my memory. They won't be laughing at Christmas when there's no eggs under the tree. All right, I think y'all understand. Now, Mitch Coleman sent this. I'm going to just quickly read it. Chuck's great adventure went grouper fishing on our buddy's new boat, Bandwidth. That's cool. Sent a big live bait down 105 feet and waited for his grouper with his trusty Fenwick fiberglass rod and a big pin reel. Not many fiberglass rods Fenwicks are fishing with. Big old sand shark took the bait, and this 84-year-old, this is Tennessee Chuck, with some assistance from Bo and Steve, just gave him a breather. And thanks Captain Brian Stevens. So anyway, Tennessee Chuck, coming down from Tennessee years ago, left a fortune up there in Tennessee and came down here just to fish at Mexico Beach, and he's truly a legend down there, and that's a big old shark. And here he is fighting them. 84 years old and loving fishing and has his whole life. So good job. Mitch, thank you for sharing that. Captain Mitch Coleman out of Mexico Beach. How about this one? Hey, be like a crow. Collect shiny things. Number 2, hop happily down the street for apparent no reason. Number 3, whatever you eat it with joy. And number 4, scream loudly when you see your friends. I thought that's good. I've never seen anything comparing us to a crow to be happy. But Kyle Petty, this is just something, I won't read the whole thing. Kyle Petty is the superintendent of schools over there in Liberty County. The Petty family, been around a long time. So what he did, he had in the Teacher Appreciation Week, they had a drawing for a free paid day off. There's Kyle right here, the Petty family, big outdoorsman up there. And he's also a pastor at Corinth Baptist Church there in Hosford, about 400 or 500 yards from where my grandparents lived down there years ago. But here's what he did. Gift certificate, Kyle Petty is your sub for one day. Isn't that a cool idea for the Teacher Appreciation Week? And so the teacher got a day off and he got a sub in the classroom. And by the way, if anybody wants to sub at any of these counties, any of your counties up there, all counties including Bay County, we need substitute teachers. Fred Bryant is an excellent fisherman. He's fishing on this lower part of the Big River. They fish that area pretty regular. Fred is constantly catching fish and has for a long time. In fact, he'll catch them and they eat those size right there. In fact, he'll have fish fries on a regular basis. Hi, Coach Chester. I found a nice flatty in the bay before the season closed. And let's see, that is, can y'all read that? That is 19, almost 20 inches. 20 inches right there. Okay. And also caught my first triple tail. It was a little small, so back it went. Your show still makes my day. Jay Atkins, Panama City Beach. Thank you, Jay, and that's good fishing, a flounder and triple tail. That shows what kind of fisherman you are to catch both of those at one time. Here's a better picture of the flounder and a better picture of triple tail right there. Good job, Jay. Don't forget, tonight, it's going to be, the car show starts at 5, start gathering. I'll be around there at 5:30. I'll be close to the dinner table, close to the food. If some of you folks that are getting tickets from me, you'll have my number, text me, or just y'all will see me there. And 7 o'clock, the main event, Jimmy Houston. But we'll be eating around 6 o'clock at a Highland Park Baptist Church. And hats off and thanks to you guys for doing such a good job. How about this? Braden Harris. This was on Saturday. Yesterday was a grind for Trevor and I. It took us all day to catch 2 fish. Now, ain't that something? But we managed to take home first place in the Emerald Coast Redfish Circuit Championship for the 2nd year in a row with 9 pounds. Also took on first place in Big Red with a 6.5 pounder and 4th place Team of the Year. And it's just a great job, Braden and Trevor over there at Callaway at the boat ramp there. Here's a fish they caught. Now, these are good fishermen. These are excellent fishermen, and they fished all day to bring in these 2. And then they got 4th place Team of the Year. 2 years in a row, they won on the home turf here. First place, this was Saturday, October 9th. First place, Emerald Coast Fellowship. So good job on that, and congratulations, both of you guys for winning that. I know that tells you, even in tournaments and all, and knowing where to go and fishing and all, some days you just got to keep on grinding, like they said, and that's what they did. So if you're in a tournament, you'll keep on. It don't take that one fish to win a tournament like that 6.5 pounder right there. All right, take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. It was actually at a fish fry, and he'd put on, he and his wife are excellent brim fishermen. They love going. I mean, and they go all the time. I would say they're being a 98th percentile of brim fishermen in the success they have catching brim. And he'll catch up a bunch and have a fish fry for a group of folks, and they're just very enjoyable. I was talking to him, all they fish with is crickets, okay? And I said, well, I think you got to spend a fortune on crickets. But he said, no, Coach, I order them 1,000 at a time. And I started thinking, back when I was growing up, we had little cricket containers. They were about 50 or 100 or something, or maybe 200, who haven't many people on the boat, and they have a little container. But now what people are doing now that's really serious about it and have a place to keep some, they'll survive pretty good once you get them situated. But I was thinking about it last night, buying 1,000 crickets. So I looked it up online to share with you. And here, of course, here's the picture of Mr. Cricket. And they are a great bait. And I love fishing with those too. But anyway, I was just looking up different places you could buy 1,000 crickets, okay? I'm not recommending any of these, and I'm not guaranteeing they're going to be alive because now this item right here is out of stock. And here's 1,000 for $16.99, and that's from Premium somebody. I'm just going to show 3 or 4 places. Feeder Source, this is 1,000 Not, you know, that's cheap right there. I really didn't know you could order 1,000 crickets. And this place here, Live Cricket Farm, and all different sizes and all different prices. And I think some of them, they feed them to their turtles and all, they're all kind of, there's a market for crickets I did not know. Live crickets for sale, free shipping. And I don't see the price on that, but that's the Critter Depot. It's amazing what you can find on the internet looking. Okay, that's just, yeah, live cricket. This is another one. This is cricket and worms. You can buy cricket and worms right here from that place. And look, I thought this was cool, a little sizing chart. And different sizes. So if you want some crickets and worms, you ain't got to go to the bait shop like we used to go all the time. I still enjoy going to Old Tackle Shop and getting crickets and all, but I had no idea there was that many of them. So anyway, and also I was thinking this past weekend, you know, the weather hopefully is going to get cool, and all this October weather we're having. A lot of us are getting out in the woods, around the leases, you know, doing all kinds of things. I've talked to several people that spent time in the woods this past weekend on the tractors, you know, trimming limbs, cutting the lanes, disking stuff in, all kinds of things going on now. It's active out in the woods and all. And I started thinking about, first thing I think about during the winter, during hunt season, I'll get some firewood, and I always think about cutting firewood in October. Fortunately, it wasn't that cold last year. I have some left over, and I don't know if I'm going to cut that much this year. But I was stacking. I had it sort of piled up. I was stacking the other day. But I was talking about lighter. Well, I was telling Gail about my lighter supply, fat lighter. Okay, my lighter supply. Here's a picture of it right here. Well, they call it fat wood. That's the term for it. But we use it. My dad always called it fat lighter, and now they're actually selling. I took some. I said, you know, I wonder if they're selling that online, and they are. And but I looked up some notes on fat lighter. This is fascinating. The history of it, as far as marketing it. I know a place over in Toulouse, you're getting a resin out of it for paint and all kind of varnishes. In fact, the four major uses are household cleaner, like Pine Sol. That's all comes from the resin and all. From the lighter. The lighter, that's what the pine trees, when they grow up, the stump's in the ground. The stump is usually turns into fat lighter. As the tree falls over and starts rotting away, right, the heart of it will become lighter too. And it is great kindling. It's the best way to start a fire. All these other ways are good, but this is great. And most of y'all know that by just trying it. But anyway, they actually started marketing it in 1648. In Sweden. The king gave a company exclusive rights to get the pine tar out of the big pine trees over there. And then, you know, you get it, I remember sometimes you get it fresh and break it in, it's sort of still sticky, and the smell and aroma of it is wonderful. In fact, I love putting it around Christmas time in the house as it just really freshens up the house as far as smelling that. And it's sticky at first, but then it will dry out. Like if you don't use it for another year or so, or whatever, it dries out. But still, I was reading about it, and I knew this, the flammability of it. It starts, you know, I always used to worry about if it dries out, it wouldn't start, but over the years, it'll start just as good dry as it does wet. And they've done research on everything, all kind of cool stuff on it. The U.S. history, at one time, they estimated we had 90 million acres of pine trees, natural pines throughout America. We've lost 95% of them by clear cutting and replanting, so only 5% of that left. And what they've done, it used to take a long time for these big pines to mature. The loblolly pine is the quickest growing pine there is, and the Forest Service recommends that. And it'll grow faster, so it's about a 25 to 30 year full growth rate, so you can still cut the tree and still have the stump there. So lighter's been really good. But anyway, it's a turpentine for a minute, so I was thinking about sharing that with you last night because when you get this fall and we're getting out in the woods, and I just naturally look around for lighter as I'm walking through the woods. Sometimes I see it, but it's too far to the truck to take it out. So anyway, if you have some, enjoy using it, and it's online. I think Michael Harris, he's going to try to sell some for y'all if you can find some. So anyway, that's the lighter. One thing too, speaking of this time of the year, it's great to get out in the woods and just walk. And I mentioned hiking and the hiking trails, especially. I bring this up every year. Over there at Torrijos State Park, I'm assuming, I haven't heard, I feel like they've cleared their trails. That's some of the best trails in the state of Florida to walk because of the different heights and all. You're right there in the Apalachicola River. Beautiful, and it's got different ways you can go, especially if you're going to want to spend some good quality time in the outdoors. Torrijos State Park. And there are other places too, a lot of trails throughout Tate's Hell. And this time of year, as it cools off, they're going to be good. And the biggest thing you can find in picking out a trail is, to me, the width of it. And the wider it is, of course, the safer it is. As far as main thing I think about is snakes and all. You've got these little narrow trails, and you're bending over and all that, and the snake's going to be right there. So when you're hiking, if you're going to look up the trails and all, if you can, keep it wide. Now, I know we spend a lot of time hiking the Appalachian Trail. And the biggest thing, and they had people, volunteers each year would go cut limbs and make sure the area is smooth. It wasn't a easy hike, but they kept it clear, and so it was easy to see as you went around the mountains. And the Florida Trail goes through Pine Log. That's a great little hike right there. So all these places are really good for hiking, and this is a great time of the year, especially the next couple of weeks as it cools down. And of course, I always have that stick with you. So to knock off the spider webs and snakes and all. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at the fishing game time today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. We're looking at 5:05 to 7:05 this morning, and this afternoon 5:36 to 7:36. And that's where it coincides with the tides we're having. A lot of movement going on at that time. Let me finish. I thought about this story too up on all the resin and all the fat lighter. As the limb goes into the tree, there's a knot right there, and a lot of times that limb falls off, and it's got, as it matures and it all rots away, it still have that ball and like that, and sort of like that. But that's called a lighter knot, and it's just really, really tough, and really, it'll burn really good. But I mean, you just can't cut it or anything. You just throw the whole lighter knot in the fire. But I want to share this with you real quick, and it sort of relate to what's going on as you try to relate generation to generation. When I was a 10th grader at Quincy High School, our football team, our coach Carlos Deason was introducing the football players at a pep rally. It's a big deal, as all pep rallies are, but he was introducing each player, and I was toward the end, and he didn't say much about them when he got each, because he had to introduce about 38 different guys, and got to me, he said, here's a sophomore, that's Winston Chester. Winston's tough as a lighter knot. And I was just beaming because that sort of described, I enjoyed playing football and a lot of physical contact, and everybody got a kick out of it. And I thought, now, if you describe one of the football players today as tough as a lighter knot, they'll look at you, what is that? Because not many people know what a lighter knot is. But anyway, it has part of our heritage, that kind of stuff. So enough on that. I do want to mention we have a fishing tournament coming up, and let's see if we got it. Still don't have it. When you notify us when you get this. Okay, here it is right here. James Mathis Memorial Brim Fishing Tournament Fish Fry. This is going to be at Howard Creek. This is cool. Now they've had this before. Had a great turnout. Okay, it's Howard Creek. It's going to be Saturday, October the 30th. $50 a boat. Kick off at 7 a.m. and weigh-in is at 3 p.m. And the boat must be sponsored by Mason. There'll be a registration to sponsor you. Fish plates with all the fixings, $10 a plate. Just go down. We talked about this last year. Just run down there and get a plate to eat. Serving from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Upper Landing. So all benefits. The director of the Shaddai Shriners. So it goes to, and you know what a Shaddai Temple does? They just do an amazing job helping people and all. Also have, I will mention this, when they brought this by, and it was on my desk when I got in this morning, and to share with you, see there. Let us know about the tournament. Y'all are so good about it. I understand there's a fishing tournament going on at the beach, across the bridge out at the beach. There's a big fishing tournament going on. I was not notified. I don't know much about the details, and this has happened before. A lot of times across the bridge, when they do something like that, back on this side of the bridge, they don't want that many participants local, because their tourism is the base of their business, and they like to get a lot of tourists doing those kind of things. So perhaps that's why I was not notified of that. So anyway, I just want to share that with you. Anytime you tell me something about a tournament, I'm going to promote it all I can to help you out, and so many good causes we're having. I also got a call from one of the viewers. Actually got a text. I want to say text and call, the same thing. Want to know, they have a larger boat, and they were trying to put it in at Lynn Haven boat ramp and having a lot of trouble because it's just, something narrow and all. Asked me where's the best place to put a bigger boat in, and the first ones that come to my mind here locally would be the downtown city marina. And I actually rode by there the other day. On occasion, in fact, it was last week I rode by there. I didn't like to ride by boat ramps. It's just something I like to do and just sort of check out, see who's fishing and all. But I checked it out. It looks so different down there with all the, the marina area going, but that boat ramp is still in good shape. You can still put a large boat in there, and that's where most of the larger boats are put in. There are other ramps that are open. The state park is pretty decent, but a larger boat, you need to put it in a special place. So I would try the city marina. Carl Gray ramp over by Gulf Coast, I haven't heard any reports on it lately. I did hear that it had filled back in some, but they'd sort of cleaned it back out. I think we talked about that's going to be an ongoing situation there at Carl Gray. But again, what they have now, Lynn Haven has and Carl Gray has those floating docks, and it's so much easier to get in and out of your boat in that situation. Now, they don't have that at City Marina, but it's going to be it's a good place to do it. Well, about running out of time again. Enjoyed doing the show for y'all. Let me know if any tournaments, anything going on. And today, try to do something good for your fellow man. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.